What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St.
BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha. How is everybody doing today? This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. I wasn't going to do a show today, and in fact, if you listened to the end of yesterday's show, I'd even said I probably will be back on Monday. However, I put a post in my group, the Hawaii STL Blues Fan Clan, and it sparked a little bit of controversy, we'll say. And I'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit. So I decided to try and do it a little bit earlier of a show today. Oh, thank you, Ash. We appreciate it. Thank you. E's here saying, let's go Blue. Craig Moss saying, hi, everyone. And Ryan Green saying 2 weeks from today. We appreciate it. Hey, Ryan, is it brighter now? I worked with the brightness. I actually have one light that's turned off. I could turn it on if it's not bright enough. But I really want to talk about this before we get into Blues hockey. Right? I think people don't understand what it takes to put this on one night, just one night, 1 hour show, right? Takes me anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours to put on one show, 2.5 to 3 hours every day, right? What now? Where's that time, right? Where's that time going? I watch NHL Network. I go through I look at NHL.com, I look at stlouisblues.com, I look at the hockey news. I try and stay away from junk sites. There's other sites that I look forward, look at. Oh, well, we got a birthday coming up. Ooh wee. The thing about this is that it takes a lot of energy from me on a daily basis. Now, I have never hidden the fact that I have mental health issues. Never hidden that fact at all. I suffer from depression, anxiety, PTSD, and I deal with that on a daily basis. This show started 5 years ago. This is my 6th season coming up. 5 years ago, this is my 6th season coming up. Because of that, this was supposed to be some type of therapy. Well, it's gotten to the point where it almost no longer is that. Right? I tried writing. I tried having my own website. That was a huge, colossus failure. Right? It caused me to get kicked out of groups. Right? I have been kicked out of St. Louis Blues Lounge, St. Louis Blues Nation, and We All Bleed Blue. And I got kicked out of all of them for this show, because of this show. Now, originally, all of them allowed this show. All of them. But I created the page, BlueNote Fan Report page, and shared the show through that page. No different than sharing it through YouTube. Same damn show. Just shared it to the page. Well, that was against the rules of We All Bleed Blue. In my eyes, it wasn't. You'd given permission to the show. This is the same thing. It's no different. Well, they kicked me out. Lounge kicked me out, and I can't remember the exact reason for the Lounge kicking me out. Nation kicked me out because I did a charity event, and as my background, it was the charity event. As far as they were concerned, that was promoting the charity event, and you weren't allowed to do that. Even though it was Blue sponsored, or alumni sponsored. Didn't matter. You know? Got kicked out for promoting my articles. I think that's what happened with Lounge. You know, it weighs on me daily that I am not in the biggest three groups for the Blue, so I created my own group. My group is stopped. 600 people. That's it. It has been there for 4 years or 3 years. Hasn't grown. And then the purpose of the group was to support the show. 600 people. I can't even get 20 views. We're at 10 now, right? I have 2 from the BlueNote Fan Report on YouTube, 6 from my page, Guy Bensing, and 2 from the BlueNote Fan Report itself, the page of BlueNote Fan Report. That's it. Now, off season, I get it. But if I go back, and watch, you know, how many views I get, this show rarely gets 100 views. Right? Now, not just the time. It costs me between $250 and $500 a month, every month, to produce this show. In order to do StreamYard like I do, I have to pay for that. I pay for Zoom, so I can do interviews, multi-interviews longer than 30 minutes, right? All of that costs money. My soundboard is $600. It needs to be repaired. My mics, they're not cheap, $200, $300, $400 a piece. I have pretty good mics. Michael Beardsley, my shipmate, looked at my gear and said, man, you got, just to give you an example, in San Diego, and yes, we will get the Blues hockey. I apologize. I just need to bring this up. Because I think this is my last season. Unless I blow up this season, I think I'm done. I don't feel the energy is worth it anymore. Right? I'm to that point. The energy that I put into it, you know, when you think about this, customer acquisition, how much you should pay to get your customers, or each customer. My customer acquisition is between $25 and $50 a person. No company survives on that. It should be in the pennies. Pennies. And it's not. You know, nothing, and it's gotten to the point in my mind where the common denominator is me. Well, that's it. You know, I'm not smart enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not good looking enough. I don't know what I'm talking about. I piss people off. Whatever. You know, my big heart isn't doing me any good. So that's kind of where I'm at right at this moment. Either I blow up this season or I'm done. And I start selling my gear. It doesn't make any sense. You know? The camera, well, I was talking about in San Diego, I did special shows for my ship's retirement. Now, I didn't put that on any of my hockey groups or any of my page. That was only put in the pages for that and on my page, you know, on mine. And You know, at times I got 30 views. Okay, that was great. You know, little bit of that. But while I was there was the place that I did it. They had a podcast that wanted to come in and do their podcast there, and they wanted to come in and see what my setup was. They came in, took one look at my setup, turned around and walked out. Says, "I got none of that. That doesn't help me. I have a very professional setup." Right? I don't know if you've seen it. When I've done my lives, if you come out to my, I wish Shockey was here. He could tell you. Right? Maybe you can go look at 2 years ago. I did a show coming up, and let's see, Monday. 2 years ago, Monday, I did a show at Rally House, and you can kind of see what my setup is. Right? I have a professional setup. I try and do this professionally. He's seen my setup, right? He's been there, right? And I have to deal with, and I'm still dealing with people who say negative things about me. Do you know? Yeah, I get it. Some people can brush that off. What other people say about me doesn't matter. Well, you know what? When you have a heart the size that I do, that shit matters. It matters immensely. What a certain family says about me on a daily basis hurts me immensely. Immensely. How many people, and I know it's not, I'm preaching to the choir here, but how many people listened to what was said and didn't come to me, just blocked me, deleted me instantly? It happened on a couple of different occasions. Right? Well, you know, Ash, I can't explain it either. It's just how it is. It's who I am. That's my core. That's my core value. I guess when you're picked on as a kid consistently, that's what happens. Right? It's time. It's either I blow up this year or I'm done. Okay. Enough with that. That was 10 minutes, 13 minutes. I guess it's time to get into hockey. Right? Well, you know what, Ash? That works if other people don't believe it. But when things get said about you that are malicious and downright cruel and mean and distasteful, and it's the type of stuff that the second people hear it, they instantly believe it. The court of public opinion doesn't even give you a chance to talk. Instantly believe it. End of story. End of story. That shit bothers me. Right? You know, and well, you know, they do matter because I do need them. Why? Here we go, Ash. I have 9 people, 10 people watching me now. During the season, games, during games, the most I ever got was 25. The most I ever got. Check this out. Hey, peeps, tomorrow is the Blues Warrior versus KC for the I-70 showdown in Jeff City. Money goes to a Warrior who's battling cancer. Right? Okay, Ash correcting me. I hit 32 once. You know, I've done all the stuff that I've needed to do. At one point I was putting it on Audible, right? got 4 listens, 5 listens. Never got more than 10 listens to any show. The Tony Twist interview was a year and a half ago. All right. Today is 2 years that I went to the alumni event. Hold on a second. Na 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 na. Give me a moment. I don't think it got that high. My dinner dates. Who recognizes them? I don't think we ever got that high, Ash, even with Tony Twist. I don't think we ever got that high, to be honest. Right? No, I appreciate that. I appreciate each and every one of you that watches the show. I really do. But honestly, my mental health is struggling. Right now, let me say a big thank you to Michael Dante, Erickson Krieger, Ashley Jones, and Craig Moz for putting some love in the air tonight. Thank you so much. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that on Facebook. I can't see it on YouTube. Right? Oh, I got 2 more quick ones. Mary Ann Holmes and Jason Nichols. Thank you. Yes, it was. It was that period. It came the week before this, right? Come on, you guys know who's sitting there? Can you tell? I forgot one of them, but it hit me later who it was. Who we got? Come on, you guys. Who's in that? Who's in that group? 3 of them have been on this show, and I got to work on the other 2. Right? Actually, I think I got the name of the one wrong. Yeah, I did. I know who that is now. Yeah, I don't think that he's on Facebook, but I'm sure if I can oh man. I can maybe get with him, right? Oh, that would have been cool. That's cool. That's cool. Right? Come on, no one knows who's in that picture? Come on, guys, who's in that picture? Right? Iguido, thank you for putting the love in the air. Appreciate it, my friend. Come on. Come on, guys. Actually, no, I take that back. 4 of those guys have been on this show. He's on his phone. Let's see if I can help him out there a little bit. Does that make it any better? There we go. Unger, Zook. Yep, they're there. Is that any better? Can you see it any better with that way? Let me try one other thing. There we go. That might make it a little bit easier. How's that? How's that, guys? Can you see that better now? All right. Maybe one more blow up. There we go. Ryan says he doesn't know the names of the other one, but he recognizes them. One of them lives by you, Ryan. All right. I see Buff and Nathan. Yeah, they're there. The one directly in the middle has been on this show. I think all but the one next to Zook has been on this show. Gosh, come on, guys. Yake! There we go. Terry Yake, directly in the middle. So you've got Unger, Yake, and Zucker, Mike Zook. The other one of them you guys should know. The other one is not as. They were both on the 1980 team. Right? The other two were both on the 1980 team. I'm pretty sure they were. In fact, 4 of the 5 were on the 1980 team. Oh, man. So next to Unger, I'll give it away. Next to Unger, you guys are going to shoot yourselves. You ready? Is Larry Patey. That's Larry Patey. Next to Larry Patey is Terry Yake. Next to Terry Yake is Bob Hess. And next to Bob Hess is Mike Zook. That's who I ate dinner with that night in my cast. All right? So that was on your team. That was 3. Actually, I think all 4 of those guys scored 20 goals that season. Those are 4 of your 9 20 goals or 10 20 goal scorers that season. Duke had 20. I know Patey did, and I know Unger did. I'm not sure about Mike or Bob Hess. I have to double check that. Hold on. Here we go. Is this it? Let me look here. Now it might be one more season. Hold on. Go. Yep, here we go. Oh yeah, he did. No, Bob didn't. Bob wasn't on that team. I was wrong. Okay, so you have. Gary might not have been on that team either. He might have been. He might have already been moved. So you had Larry Patey had 22 goals that season. Mike Zook had 24 goals that season. I thought Unger was on that team, but he wasn't. Unger was already gone by then, and I don't see Bob Hess on here. Oh no, Bob Hess was, but he was defenseman. He only had four games. He didn't have any points. Let's see, how many games did Bob played? 329 in the NHL. All of them for most of them for St. Louis, and 80 was his last season. 80-81 was his last season. He went to Buffalo for a year and Hartford for a year. So 33 games for Buffalo, 3 games for Hartford, and then called it a career. So I was a little wrong. Yes, it was an incredible dinner. Incredible dinner. No, Wickenheimer had already passed. Wickenheimer played in the later 80s. We talked about that a lot yesterday. Mary, I don't want to get too much into it, and I don't want to take anything away. I don't want to. I honestly don't want to minimize it. Kaepernick is going to have to really work to get back, and he has a hearing in February. If they can't get that delayed or make it to where he doesn't have to be there, the Blue. And remember, the Blues picked him up for nothing. For nothing. We got him from Pittsburgh. We picked him up on waivers. I could see him being waived. Right? He could get waived. Doug Armstrong's statement on it was pretty much, he needs to do better. And, he was the guy that couldn't do this. Well, not him per se, but that. Become a tick? I don't know what you mean by that. They were early Blues. They came in the 68s. Red Burnson and Hall came in the original season. 68 and that. We had a good show yesterday. We really did. Right? And I'm kind of getting to the point where I have nothing to talk about. This is why I don't do a show every day, Jason. This is why it's so hard. There's not enough news to talk. Right? How often can I beat the dead horse of Affleck came in the late 60s, early 70s. Right? Actually, no. Affleck might have been earlier than that. Now, I know he didn't play in the 80s. Because he was there. He was there during a pretty bad time for the Blues. I think he only made the playoffs once. Right? He played 75 to 84, so he was with the Blues. Yeah, he was drafted by the Blues. So he played with the Blues until 79. Went to Vancouver for a year, and then the Islanders for a year. He only played 5 games with Vancouver and 1 game with the Islanders. And then he came back to St. Louis. He was a defenseman, yeah. Good guy. I mean, he's a good. I call him a friend. He's a very good friend. He runs the alumni groups now. Very good friend. Right. Not this season. Not this season. Right. Glenn Hall was an original Blue, right? And I don't think they name a captain this season. It would have already been done, right? It would have already been done. They're going to go. My guess is they're going with 6 alternates: 3 home alternates, 3 away alternates. Now, if they only go with 5 alternates, At this point, you might as well name a captain. Because whoever your alternate that's home and away would be your captain. Nope, that was Jacques Plante. That was Jacques Plante. And he wore it before he put it on before he came to the Blues. Right? That might look familiar. Right? That was a mask that Ed Stanowski wore. Well, this is not the original. Right? This is a a replica that I got signed. E. Guido has this mask, actually. My alternates for home and away. Ooh. Well, I'll name who I think my alternates will be because I can't say who's going to be home, who's going to be away. But Thomas, Kyrou, Shin, Pareko, Letty, and maybe Saad. Actually, I think the captain is going to be Thomas. Right? I know a lot of people think it should be Shin and then Thomas. That doesn't make sense to me. Right? If your plan is to name Thomas, you name Thomas. You don't name somebody else until you don't do a Bacchus type thing. Right? I don't think that helps your team at all, to be honest. I think that I think that so you can see Pareko and Letty switching, one's the home defenseman, one's the away defenseman. Right? Actually, no, not Letty, Falk. Pardon me. So Pareko and Falk. Kyrou and Thomas alternating. And then Shin and Saad, or even Bushnevich. Yeah, I don't know about, maybe. There's leadership out there. That's not an issue. The issue in my eyes is coaching. Right? I think that's one of the biggest issues for this team. Yeah, I corrected that. No. See, the number's dropping. I disagree with that. I don't think it's lost as much. But I also think that a lot of times the captain was just the best player on the team. But that doesn't always mean that the best player is the best leader. Right? Now, there are some exceptions. Wayne Gretzky, from what I understand, was a hell of a leader. Right? Right? Well, there's going to be complaining. I think to me, this what has happened is Armstrong's given Berube the rope, and Berube either changes his ways or that's an absolute. I know that for a fact. Berube either changes his ways or he's gone. And the fact that he brought in Sundqvist tells me he's not going to change his ways. This team is going to play a defensive brand of hockey. And that defensive brand of hockey is going to leave Bennington open. Bennington may have crappy numbers, but play amazing. All right. That is something that I can see. Unless this team can get back to the cycle and play differently in the neutral zone, you have to move your feet in the neutral zone. You have to. Because if you don't, you're done. Right? That's all there is to it. If Kyrou is going to stand, or whoever is going to stand at the blue line and wait for the puck, we're in the same position we always were. Right? You have to keep moving. You have to have the neutral zone is the most important part of the ice. Oh my goodness. I'm not completely on board with that. Not completely on board with that. I think O'Reilly was a good captain. I just think O'Reilly wore thin. O'Reilly's message wore thin. Let me hold on. Give me a second, Mary. No. Let's see. No. Mary, I don't see it. I just sent you a message, Mary. I don't see what you're talking about. Well, the blaming on himself was an issue. I will say that. He needed to hold his teammates accountable, especially in the press. I felt he did. We're going to know what type of team we have by the end of October. Within the first 2 weeks. Within the first 2 weeks, we'll know. Right? I absolutely believe that. I think we got fooled a little bit last season by them winning those first 3 games, but the team was a lot more to the 8-game losing streak was more of what they were. Oh no. Yeah, Mary, that's not a good picture. I can't see that. I can't show that on the show. I mean, it says it's the 92-93 Blues. It's the team picture. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do something here. That didn't work. That did not work at all. Uh, yeah, it didn't. I tried to do something. It didn't work at all. I need to get more stuff that's for sale than what I wanted. I'm doing a quick look here. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it. Sorry. I was hoping I could show something, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. I mean, there's probably something out there. I just gotta. Uh, let's see. I did something else, seeing if this brings me up anything. Yeah, it didn't get any better. Well, it did, but it didn't bring up what you were hoping for. Sorry about that. Oh well. More than likely, Ryan. I don't get to see who it is. Petrangelo was the last captain, in my opinion, when they announced O'Reilly as captain. I was very happy with it, but he just couldn't glue the team together. Yeah, I can see that. No, 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 no. Well, I don't know, man. Unless you guys add something. Oh, Gloria Seabird, thank you, thank you, thank you. Unless you guys add something, I'm gonna call it a night. 45 minutes, and nothing to talk about. It's this season either the show blows up or I'm done. It's going to be the last season because I don't know if I can continue to do this. I really don't. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the thing. The last month of shows have been some of my best. They've been my best shows. They've been incredible. And if you look on YouTube, I have no more than 20 views, 30 views. Right? Uh Here, let's do this. Um and you look at this, these are my live streams. 25 views, 22 views, 40 views for I mean, that one was surprising me. 19 views, 33, 21, 14, 14, 38, 23, 20. 38, 25, 37, 27, 33, 45, 55. That was 2 months ago, right? 60 with another 60 with Wendy, and that must have been the draft, round 2, right? Draft show, 44, 97 views before it got blacked off or whatever, right? The last time, the last live show, I did a live reaction show for the Stanley Cup Finals and got 105 views. Right? That's the last one. The lottery draft show, 104 views. Right? Nothing over that. Nothing over 105 views. And I'm going way back. Right? And even when I get into the season, right? Game Day Lives, 50 views, 48 views, 77, 117 for a Game Day Live 5 months ago. I don't know the exact name. Right? So, not over 120 views. That's, now, in comparison, Let's Go Blues Radio. Right? 133 views, 151 views, 91, 130, 139, 122. Right? They're 216. They're obviously they get the views. They get the watches. Right? They do it once a week. You know, 300, their episode 400, 300, and that was streamed 6 months, 337 views. All right, so, you know, for me, it's getting to the point where it is what it is anymore. Right? 5 years of doing this, and I feel like not just the off season, bud. Even the regular season. Right? It just feels like it's not there. You know, at what point do I throw in the towel and say, you know, it's me, it's Guy. People are not watching because of Guy. Right? If I could do a poll, if I could put out a poll, you know, just a general poll, and have people do it anonymously, I think the majority of them would say they don't like me. Right? I just, that's how I feel. Well, guys, sorry about the downer tonight. I apologize to each and every one of you. You know what? Have a wonderful day. Monday, probably be back. Maybe Tuesday. We'll see. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Again, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but thank you, each and every one of you. Have a great night. This is Guy saying aloha, mahalo, and I'll see you again on the BlueNote Fan Report.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!